Are you sure?
Yeah, I'll stay.
Okay.
Do that.
See you all.
Bye. Take care.
Good morning. I'll call the March 28th special call meeting of Mason County Fiscal Court to order. Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Judge. Madam Clerk, can you start us off with a roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hara?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Want to welcome everyone to this special call meeting of Mason County Fiscal Court. We have some guests joining us today. Dr. William Craig Denham with the Primary Plus new residency program. Dr. Denham, if you want to come forward to our podium there, I've asked Dr. Denham to come and give us a status on the residency program and how the county and city might assist.
Well,
Morning.
thank you for having me, and if it's okay with the fiscal court, I'll give you a general update on several projects we have planned in Mason County over the next 18 months. I'll start with the residency. March 15th was National Match Day, so that is the day that all medical school seniors find out where they're going for residency. Only 2/3 of family medicine residencies filled, so that means they got all the residents they applied for. Fortunately, we were one of those that filled, so we got all 4 slots filled back through the match. We are receiving 2 in-state residents and 2 out-of-state residents, so 2 Kentuckians, 1 Pennsylvanian, and 1 South Carolinian. We are very excited about that. That'll be our inaugural class, of course. They'll be here for a minimum of 3 years, and then we will be taking 4 new each year. So in 3 years' time, the graduating class will be replaced by the incoming class. They will be headquartered at the Browning Medical Building, which is downtown here, of course. The first floor of the Browning Building will be the residency clinic. The second floor will be rental space. Dr. Ferris and Dr. Wise will remain. The other half of the second floor, we are hoping to recruit one of 3 Cincinnati hospital systems. We're in talk with UC, St. Elizabeth, and TriHealth about developing a permanent rotating adult specialty clinic in town, similar to what we've done with Cincinnati Children's for pediatrics. That's been a fantastic collaboration. So we hope in the next 12 to 18 months that will be up and running. Kind of contract negotiations with those 3 entities to see who wants it the most. But they all are genuinely interested.
Excellent.
You know, the Cincinnati Children's Program has been a phenomenal addition to our community here with the ability to bring in their specialists in pediatric medicine for our citizens. And so for that, we greatly appreciate your efforts and Primary Plus's efforts.
Well, you are very welcome. And it helps that we provide an inviting community. It's really not hard to sell the community once you get people to visit. That's been great with residency recruitment and actually has been a benefit to new physician recruitment. We are actively recruiting new OB gynecologists. So that's a big project over the next month. We anticipate Dr. Shires, retiring, and cutting back over the next year. We just received our first mobile healthcare unit. I don't know if any of you have been out to our building on Kent Station or by the hospital recently. It's a 40-foot RV basically with 2 mobile exam rooms and a small lab. So we're going to be doing some targeted community outreach in areas like Sardis, for example. Not everybody can get into town easily. Amish community outreach. We'll probably start on the east end of Maysville. The police department has been gracious enough to offers use of their parking lot at their east end facility because we need some test runs. You got to make sure know how all the parts work before you really start taking it out. But we received delivery of that. We're expecting a second unit in the next 6 months, which will be also equipped to do mobile pharmacy and mobile dental. So hope to do some targeted school outreach with that bus. So if anybody has any ideas of where they'd like to see that go, that of course is any place in the Primary Plus service area, not just Mason County, please reach out to me. We are open to ideas because it's there to serve the community, not just in routine times, but it'll also be available for emergency outreach. If one of our neighboring counties has a natural disaster, or we do, you know, we will be able to set up and continue some limited operations regardless of what facilities may or may not be able to do.
Well, and Commissioners,
Fantastic idea.
Yeah, it is. I agree with
That's a good
that.
idea.
I agree.
Dr. Denham and I have had discussions on, the out Mays Lick at the community center, and also partnering with, the Veterans Organization out of Cincinnati and doing a group health day. And then, of course, we also have the Lewisburg site and several others if the county can help contribute to siting your mobile units in Mason County. for sure.
Yeah, well, please be honest with us what needs your constituents may have, because when we send one of these out, we can equip it not just with medical staff, but one of our community health workers. We can help people sign up for Medicaid on site, all those things, you know, in one spot.
So when you go out, Dr. Denham, are you going to have appointments set up, or are you just having people to come to the unit for the,
Both.
both?
So
Okay.
when we send the unit to, let's say, Stover Drives, for example, to do wellness physicals, that'll be on a schedule because that'll be the employer's preference.
Right.
If we do something at the Mason County School Bus Garage, that would also be on a schedule for CDL physicals. But if we go to, let's say, Robertson County Schools with the dental chair, that would be at will.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Are you going to work in hands with the Buffalo Trace Department? They have a mobile unit too.
Yes, yeah. So some of the joint projects that we have discussed don't have anything finalized, but we've discussed like multiple vaccine clinics. You know, their funding and our fundings differ, so we can offer discounted vaccines that they can't, and vice versa.
Good.
So we could set up at places like downtown and service Stoneley, you know, or some of the elderly apartments, you know, on the east end. Is it Limestone? Is that the name of that? Limestone Apartments?
Yes.
Yeah.
Doctor, I don't think it's that big a hardship on us, but the LEAP participants, I think we have for the county employees, I think we have a big fall off not doing it here. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, some of us, especially older ones, go. I think some of the younger employees don't.
Yeah, we'll be able to reinstitute that with the mobile units and
That'd be
actually
super.
provide a little bit better service, in my opinion.
That'd be super, thank you.
Yeah. So again, any ideas that you all have, please reach out. We're also planning in the next 18 months to add a second retail pharmacy to Mason County. You know, we are looking at sites now. So a lot of big projects. Recruitment, the residency clinic, the finished rehabilitation of the Browning building, the mobile units, and a new pharmacy. And in addition to the pharmacy, we hope sometime in the next year to add our own infusion center. So folks that have to have IV fluids, iron infusions, biologic infusions, we will not do chemotherapy, but we would do all others, you know, to be able to get folks that need those services access to what's called a 340B program and save them a tremendous amount of money.
Doc, when do we expect the Browning Medical Building to be complete with the renovations?
Probably 18 months for the entire building. That's a good question. The residency, by regulation, all residencies start on July 1st. So the first floor has to be completely done in June so we can move in furniture.
Gotcha.
And they've just about finished drywalling yesterday on the first floor. The third floor is, the studs are up, so now we're electrical and plumbing on the third floor. The very last thing we do is the second half of the second floor and the elevators. There's really no point in doing a lot of the floors and the elevators and the outside until all the construction's done, because all you do is tear it up.
Are you setting up housing for these people, or are they gonna be responsible for getting their own?
They're responsible for getting their own. By regulation, we cannot sell, rent, or sublet to them. That kind of creates a significant conflict of interest since we're responsible for supervision and other things. So we can't do that. If any of you have any resources, please share them, because I'm going to give you a list of things that the county can do to help. You know, now and in the future. The first one would be when we think about recruitment, I would ask that the county and the city and the Chamber of Commerce be open to the idea of sending some gift baskets with resource lists, you know, stuff that's available in the community, like daycares, law offices, realtors, plumbers, you know, anything that you can think of that would be useful for somebody that's moving here that does not have any relatives here. The best recruitment we will have going forward is how welcome this first class feels.
Yeah.
You know, in addition to the kind of gift baskets, welcome baskets, I'd like to see us set up a community reception. And if the city and the county and the Chamber of Commerce, you know, could partner with us when we do an open house and have a welcoming reception sometime in late fall or early winter, let them get settled. I think that would be, you know, tremendous benefit.
Great idea.
You know, moving on from the residency, any ideas or wishes that you all have to see use of the mobile units, please share them. We, of course, won't be able to go everywhere. A 40-foot RV just, you can't, you know, you got to be realistic about where you can get it to and where you can park it. The second one will be a little bit shorter, but will still be limited to where you can go with it. But any ideas you have there, we'd love to hear them.
Doc, can you talk a little bit about employment projections and number of patients you're thinking about seeing daily?
Sure. As far as the residency clinic specifically, these will be 4 medical doctors. They will be seeing patients full-time. They will have both outpatient duties at the Browning Medical Building and inpatient duties. They will split their inpatient time between Meadowview Regional Medical Center, and they will also have duties at University of Cincinnati Children's Hospital, as well as University of Kentucky Children's Hospital, to meet their inpatient pediatric requirements. So the residency clinic downtown will be open 4.5 days a week. It will be closed on Wednesday afternoons. That is their lecture series time, so they have required didactics that they have to attend. But it'll be a fully functioning medical office. You know, so they will, on average, each resident is expected to see by themselves about 1,800 patients a year. That is reduced from what you expect a full-time experienced practitioner, but they're also there to learn, you know, between their out-of-house rotations as well as their didactics. You know, you have to allow for that. There will be 3 patient service representatives as well as 3 nursing staff for the resident clinic. The 3rd floor of the Browning Medical Building will be our mental health services, which we will be expanding. So that'll house 2 psychiatrists and right now 4 LCSWs.
It stands for,
Licensed clinical social worker.
thank you.
So overall, the whole building, you know, probably 40 to 50 new employees downtown.
That will do, it could be more than that depending on which Cincinnati system really signs on the dotted line.
Yep.
But we expect that to be full-time operations.
Yep, okay.
We are budgeting for renovations and payroll and equipment about a $12.5 million investment downtown.
Sure.
That's probably a better answer to your question.
Yep.
You were talking about pediatric hospitals, that they were gonna be rotating in it. Now, they're not
Yes,
just
ma'am.
gonna be see pediatric patients down here,
No,
right?
no.
Okay.
These are folks who have graduated medical school
Yeah.
and they are doing their postgraduate training, so they are what's called board eligible. Without a residency completed, you are not allowed to sit for board examination. So board certification and state licensure are independent processes. So these are folks that are wanting to go an extra step and have extra certification. but they'll be able to see all age groups.
Awesome.
Yeah. You know, we're really excited about it, and if you've got any questions, I'm willing to answer anything you want to know.
Does Primary Plus, are they gonna be the one to set up the appointments, or will they call down here? How
Both.
does that work?
Both. You could, you could access the appointment schedule from any of our locations, but you can call down there directly. And we're getting ready between now and the end of the year to start experimenting with direct patient scheduling. So folks that use our online patient portal will be able to schedule their own appointment without having to make a phone call.
I'm sure there'll be more information
That'd
released to
be
the
good.
public.
Yes.
As time,
Yeah.
as time allows.
Yeah, and we have to be a little bit careful about how much we promote it in the beginning, because I would much rather, under-promise and over-deliver.
Well, on behalf of Mason County Fiscal Court, please convey our appreciation to Jerry Huber, Michael Thurman, and yourself on your all's collective efforts in bringing and bolstering healthcare in downtown and for all of Mason County.
A great asset to the community.
Yeah,
Good program.
if statistics hold true, about 60% of these residents will stay within 75 miles. That'd be huge for the region, huge. Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, thank you all for your time.
Thank you, appreciate your time.
Thank you, Dr. Dillon. That's awesome. Awesome. That's right. That's right. I knew it was gonna be big.
Commissioners, next up, in your packet, we've got our county clerk going to present on resolution 24-03. County clerk's
you.
election equipment grant.
So if you all recall, there was money made available to all the counties in the state for purchase of election equipment. So we went through that cycle, and some counties didn't need all the money allotted to them, so this is a reallocation of remaining funds. So we were awarded an additional $10,700. So I
And
just-
this needs to be passed as is, and I will not touch it. Because last time they rejected it when I cleaned it up. I thought mine was better, but they didn't like it.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am.
This is already approved. This is approved.
Yes.
So it's not really an application.
Well done.
I've already sent in the application, yeah.
Commissioners, next up, we've got Mason County Sheriff Patrick Ball. Good morning,
First
Sheriff.
off, I want to thank you for having this special meeting. And then my next thing is going to be, I apologize because it's my fault. I was supposed to do my fee settlement by March 15th, and I did not get that in. So that's what I'm here to request for the 2023 fee account. Total receipts of $1,431,531.88. Total expenditures, $1,421,787.85, with excess fees, sorry, Commissioner McKay, $9,744.03, not near what Clerk Schumacher turned over, I know,
That's
but
all right. That's all right.
it's a little.
It's 9,000 we never had.
So, and completely I take full responsibility that I didn't get this done before March 15th. I've spoke to the auditors. We're good there. I ratted myself out, so. And I have turned over a check to Treasurer Muse for that $9,744.03 this morning. So that, it does require a vote and a signature after the meeting, Judge.
Yes, sir.
You're available.
So moved.
So we got a motion to accept the 2023 fee settlement. Now we have a second. Commissioners, do we have any additional questions? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, my friend.
Kudos on that, the new Durango. Durango.
Oh, yes, yeah, so
Sharp.
here's the,
They are sharp, I
of
saw.
course, we ordered one back in early December. And then, of course, the fiscal court bought us one, much appreciated, just a month ago.
Yeah.
They came in on the same day, fully equipped. I don't know how that happens, but it took one literally a month, and it took the other one 4 months to be finished.
Equipped at the same place.
Equipped at the same place. I guess they just had everything in ready, and each agency has a different setup of how they want their cruisers set up. So while they were doing one, they just jumped into the other one.
Good.
So, and their guys love them, and I let the guys pick. Of course, we're always switching colors of cruisers and everything, but they look really sharp. With it's
do.
black and silver, black and gray, and they look really good.
They really
So,
do.
They do. They look sharp.
Yeah,
Thank you.
they
Well,
yeah, thank you all very much.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, next up in our packet, we've got some vendor claims to be approved. I'll turn it over to Treasurer Meade.
I'd like to have the court's approval to pay vendor claims as presented, the total of $83,283.71.
So moved.
Got a motion?
I'll second it.
We have a second. Any additional discussion? Questions, Commissioner? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. Any additional?
No, sorry,
Okay.
that's it.
So Commissioners, that brings us up to our new business. As part of the senior living campus renovations up in the East End, we need an approval of a temporary relocation assistance policy as we are renovating and upgrading the facilities, the campus up there. We're having to move residents to either additional units, or some are electing to go stay with family. But I'll turn it over to John to.
There is a federal relocation act anytime there's federal funds, whether it's through the, doled out through the state, doled out through the county. But anytime there's federal grant funding involved, you have to comply with the Federal Relocation Act and the regulations at 24 CFR, which are quoted in the policy which is being adopted. It's typical of these projects. Every time we do something up there, we adopt a slew of policies to make us comply with federal law. This is another one. And there are some, besides the policy, there's some nuts and bolts and communications with working with our tenants to make sure everybody's taken care of during the project. But if it wasn't federally funded, you could actually move somebody out, evict them, et cetera, et cetera. But it's federally funded, so you get them short-term housing or pay for storage of stuff that has to be stored, that sort of thing. So that's what this does.
So I would need a motion to approve.
So moved.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion?
Is everything okay on the relocation?
Yes, sir.
Good, good,
Yep.
good.
We're staying in very good communications with them up there. I want to say thank you to Buffalo Trace Area Development District and their team, as well as Sherry and Dwight, Stephen, and our team, as well as DJE Construction, and kind of the tip of the spear guys up there that are putting in new windows, roofs, everything like that. It's going to be a nice facility upon completion. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Good.
Commissioner McKay?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Ahern?
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Frame?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil?
Yes, ma'am. And so, Commissioner, that brings us up to communications from the judge, commissioners, or officers. I was pleased to have Dr. Denham come today. We're assisting Primary Plus team with their project. Also, Dr. Robert Boone's here today. He's going to be helping with a mural within that world, talking about the history of healthcare in Mason County, which I think will be a nice addition to the project. Also wanted to remind you, April 27th, the Rock for Rescue Mud Strut, and a Rockville Rescue concert on August 10th. Any communications from commissioners or officers?
There's time I'd like to
Sure.
address it. You
By all means, Sheriff.
So, I've spoke with each one of you by phone, and I just feel like it's proper to notify the public in public ceremony. But I want to thank each and every one of you for the support, and much thought and prayer have gone into my decision and my family's decision. But I will not be finishing out this term. My intentions are to retire May 1st. And I just want to thank each and every one of you in this room and to the public. At the same time, I want to apologize, I guess, for not filling out and finishing that term. I always said when I ran for office, I don't think I'd be that person that wouldn't fill out a term that I was elected to, but, you know, there's something, it's my heart's racing right now. There's something in you that just tells you when's the right time, and it's I think it's my right time. I really do. I'm not running away from anything. As far as I know, I'm healthy. I plan on having a physical last week of April. I'm running. I'd like to look at it as I'm running to my family to give them more of my time for a while. And I won't disappear. I'll be here. Anything comes up and anything's needed. There's a lot to be done, but you know, it's I thank you, but I need to thank my family, the ones that raised me, and then my wife and kids for supporting me. They've been through a lot, so, and I haven't been emotional until now. It's been excitement, not this type of emotion until now. But I truly thank you for the support, the colorful discussions, and everything throughout the years. I would not be a success if it wasn't for everybody in this room and my staff, my coworkers. They're the ones that made me the sheriff I am and was. So, but thank you all.
Abject.
Patrick, it's been a
I'll second
pleasure working with you.
that.
Yeah, Your Honor, can I, and I'm not just, I'm sure everybody wants to say something, but I'd like to go first if I could.
Sure, please.
I've worked with Patrick, his 17 years of sheriff very closely, and prior to that as a deputy sheriff. Everybody's aware of Patrick's dedication to law enforcement, his law enforcement duties, his work in the school. You know, he's a very visible sheriff and deals with a lot of people, and that part's visible. So I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to tell you that in my dealings with Patrick, you know, your sheriff is your first dealing with the legal system, first public dealing with any problems typically. And Patrick, there's a whole lot of people out there that are poor, downtrodden, not accustomed to the system, not accustomed how to work it. And Patrick, you've gone out of your way to protect people who need protecting, even when it wasn't part of your job. So I appreciate very much. I think it's a model. A lot of sheriffs don't do that. A lot of law enforcement don't do that. And sort of the social worker in you and the kind, good man in you has helped a lot of people that people don't know about, and it's not as visible. The second thing I'd tell you that Patrick and I have spent a lot of time on the phone and in conversations about things. Sometimes we don't agree. We've dealt with lots of problems, and some people complain that their sheriff calls them all the time. I appreciate that my sheriff has called me all the time because he's also listened to me, even when we don't agree. I've listened to him and he's listened to me, and we've had a collaboration all these years, spent a lot of time together, and not only collaboration as professionals, but friendship. But Patrick has tried to look for different ways to do things, and we've worked together for some collaborative approaches to doing things different. Some of them have failed, and we've gone back to the old way. But throughout this, he's worked with me and been real open to my advice, and I appreciate having around the state you see sheriffs and county attorneys and sheriffs and clerks and sheriffs and fiscal courts fighting, and Patrick's collaboration, but not only me, but his fellow officers, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.
And you can change your mind, I think, until it's...
I guess I have until May 1st.
Not if they get it in the system. better think quick.
And I failed to ask, and I just, I beg of you to please support whoever the next sheriff might be. Because like John says, it is the first line, and I hope I've instilled a lot of my beliefs and my mannerisms on my coworkers and fellow law enforcement. And you've got a good crew over there, and whoever's the lucky one to inherit them is going to be a step above everybody else in this state. I promise you that. And it's not because of me, it's because of them.
Sheriff, I'll say, for north of 2 decades, you've served Mesa County, City of Mason, and all of our community with exemplary service. I greatly appreciate your professionalism. You have represented Mason County unimpeachably across the state of Kentucky for north of 20 years. And for that, we greatly appreciate you. But also, on a personal note, I very much appreciate your friendship and, the fact for a newly appointed judge to come in and have your ear and confidence and to be able to talk things out has been a great assistance to me personally. And so, my hat's off to you. Thank you. And commissioners and members of the court, we are kicking around. I'll have to admit, I talked to your wife this morning, and we are kicking around doing a ceremony March 28th there over at the Justice Center in a celebration of your career. And I wish I could think of something to do more that would be more representative of the service you provided the citizens. But my hat's
Not
off to
necessary,
you.
but I appreciate that. Your Honor.
March 28th or April 28th?
Oh, sorry, April 28th.
I was gonna say, that's today.
Yeah, sorry. We have it later today. We're gonna walk across the street.
And I don't mean to interrupt, if anybody else got something to say, you can go after. But just for educational purposes, and the clerk can jump in if I say this incorrect, but the appointment belongs to by statute, I think 62.030, the judge executive appoints a sheriff upon a vacancy. That appointment will need to come prior to the office being vacated because the surety on the bonds has to be approved in advance. So whether it's at the regular April meeting or whether it's some called meeting later in April, there will be some housekeeping to do. First of all, the judge's appointment. Second of all, y'all approving some bonds and some other things. The new appointed sheriff's staff, although it very may be just exactly the same, will need to be reappointed and sworn in. So there's work, and we want to get into audits and such that
It's way crazy.
that the sheriff has to get done or is working on getting done. But Stephanie, according to the Constitution, Section 152, this will go on the ballot because there is an election in the fall. So it will be something of a short-term appointment in the ballot in the fall. Stephanie, is that correct?
That's correct. And then both parties, the executive committees of both parties will appoint or nominate, their candidate for the general election ballot. So that's a different paperwork, but I have that in my office.
I'd like to also echo all the things that John said, but I got to see firsthand some of those people that Patrick worked with in the schools, and as a former administrator, worked closely with Patrick, and the job of policemen, sheriffs has changed a lot over your time, and these things right here have made you so accessible, and a lot of times people don't answer their phone or they don't text, but I know every time I called on this man when I was in the schools, he was on this, Johnny on the spot, and I'm just very appreciative of all he did to help me and help our school, and what you've done for this county has been tremendous, and I wish you nothing but the best. I had a feeling this day was coming. We had a talk about a year and a half ago, and I went through retirement, and I've not handled it very well.
Don't tell me that.
And I had a feeling that Patrick was going to hit that day too. And he's probably gonna be a lot more prepared and a lot better at it than me, I think. But, you know, still a young man, and I know you still got a lot left in you.
Thank
But,
you.
you know, I wish you nothing but the best.
Appreciate it.
I want to say thank you for your service. It's been a pleasure working with you, and I appreciate your friendship, and you've done a lot for the county.
Thank you.
And enjoy your time off, retirement, or whatever it's going to be.
It's gonna be a big, long nap is what it's gonna
But
be.
I guarantee
With
you,
the-
you'll
with the
be
cell phone
busier,
turned off.
you'll be busier once you leave that office.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's,
you remember that
We'll
cell,
miss you,
that cell
Patrick.
phone didn't ring just during, school hours. I get the pleasure of talking to Patrick sometimes. or-
Many nights.
or
2 in the morning.
Right, 2 or 3 in the morning,
We're
right?
going to miss you.
Sure.
Thank you.
there's not too much more I can add. But like Commissioner O'Hara said, every time I reached out to you, whether as in a physical court matter or even as a personal matter, you were always there for me and the family. We go way back, Patrick, ever since you was a small child.
Fourth grade basketball coach.
Yeah. Yeah. And you turned out well, my friend. You must have some great coaches after. But, so this is very personal to me, and because I see you all the time at church and your family, and there's not enough. I mean, I wouldn't want your job, but what you put in, your dedication, your hard work, your passion. This wasn't a job. This was your passion, and this was your vocation. It was something that the good Lord chose you to do, and you did it quite well, and you had a great support staff. You really did. But I just admire our friendship. I really do. And I've told you before, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Thank you.
So from my family to your family, we thank you, and we wish you nothing but the very best.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm not changing my cell phone number.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next.
yeah.
I just want to say it's been a pleasure. There's several of us in the room that have worked together for
Ever.
a long time. But I've always admired you and the work you've done for the county, so it's going to be hard to see you go.
It's hard to go. It really is. It's, well, like I said, up till today, it's been excitement. I guess making it real is
Yeah.
what's gonna hit. So,
I think I just want to add that I've known Patrick a long time. I mean, we grew up together, and I'm sorry. I'm just really going to miss him. He's been very supportive and a good friend, and I hate to see him go. And I'm very happy for you. You've earned it. You've more than earned it. And I wish your family well, and the time they're going to get to have with you now.
it's gonna be a fun summer.
Yeah, yeah, and but I think it's hard sometimes in these jobs. It may be more so in a small county because, at least for me, I get attached to the
Yes.
people I work with, and I've told several of my county clerk friends that I would only want to be a county clerk in Mason County. So,
There's no other county I'd rather represent. So, yeah.
thank you.
Well done, my friend, well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Job well done.
Thank you.
Commissioners and court, our next regular scheduled meeting will be April 9th, 2024. And unless anyone has anything else to add, I will take a motion to, yes, sir.
No, go ahead, Mr. Hayes.
Lewisburg breakfast.
Yo, that's
Saturday.
right. Yes, ma'am.
Saturday morning, right?
Yeah.
Spring break.
What time, what time's it start?
Huh?
What time does that start?
I think 6:30.
Okay.
6 or 6:30.
Mason County will have spring break next week, but I'd like to take this time to wish everybody a very happy and blessed Easter.
Yep.
Agreed. Agreed. Well said. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
A motion second. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner McKay.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner O'Hearn.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Brink.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge McNeil.
Yes, ma'am.
It's like it.